Okay. Okay. So let me start again. So this is the date assignment that I gave, the date function assignment that I gave. So I'm just going to do it all, but it won't take time because we have today's work to work with. So to bring out the day name from this date here, we're just going to use equals to text. I told you we use text to format out. We use text to do some formatting here in this date function here. So we open up the text function, and then our value is our dates. Then since we're working with day name, so the format text is going to be DDDD. I'm not going to explain why because we already did this. DDDD, enter. So I have Friday downwards. And then for the day, that's the number, the day number. Instead of me using text and then using 2Ds, because I know that 2Ds also is going to return number for me, but it's going to return it as a text. I'm just going to go ahead and just use the day function itself. Since that's what it basically does. It helps me to return the day number from a date. I'm going to use the day number and just pick my date here, then enter. So this column here is presently on a date format. I'm going to change the entire column up here to general. Then I'm going to see it in number. So it's telling me that what I have 1. The day in this date here is 1. And I hope what I'm doing is not new to anybody. So I'm just going to do the text, the month name also. This is my value here. Then my format text is MMMM. I'm going to close my quote, close my bracket, then enter. I have January. And then for the year also, I'm going to use just the year function. And I'm going to pick my serial, my date, then enter. I have my year. So I'm just going to drop this down. I'll draw this down also. And then the week number. I said this one works with what particular week are we on in a year. And I told you that we have 52 weeks in a year. So we need to know what particular week are we presently on in the whole year. So we use week num to check it out. So week num works with what? The entire year. It returns the week number in the year. So even if I'm to use this place here, still going to return 1 because the date here is what? 1st of January. So 1st of January is, we know that one is going to be what? First week of the year. We're also going to treat it here equals to 1. You see, it is not as hard as it looks. And then if you now scroll down to this other side here, where we have delivery date, then it said 24 working days, excluding Sunday. Remember, I told you that E-date doesn't work with exclusion. E-OMO doesn't work with exclusion. Work day works with exclusion, but the exclusion that it's working with is more Saturdays and Sundays automatically. You are not going to be the one to pick it yourself. It's going to automatically remove Saturdays and Sundays as your weekends, right? But this particular column is asking us to treat delivery date, whereby the delivery is going to be in 24 working days, right? But then the person doing the delivery, I'm just using as an example. The delivery now is it's going to be in 24 working days, right? But then we don't have, the person is having what? Sundays off. So now the person is going to deliver it in 24 working days, and the person does not work on Sundays. What particular date will it actually return that stuff? So we have Workday International. That's the only one that helps us to pick our own weekends by ourselves. So our start date, we are not working with today. I told you that we're working with the date that is presently on our data set here. So what's my start date? This is my start date here. And then my days is what? 24. I told you we're working 24 working days. And then the weekend, I'm going to pick what? Sunday only. Are you seeing it? And I'll just put my bracket on it, then press enter. Since I don't have holidays. So it's telling me that what? I'm going to be submitting this particular thing January 29, 2021. I see. Since the person is working for 20, I'm not working with today, I'm working with this date here. So if the person is supposed to submit it in 24 days, right? Excluding Sunday. From this 1st of January 2021, the person is going to submitting it January 29, 2021. I see it. Just drop this down here. We're going to have the date. And then this one now says expiry date, lifespan of 7 years. Now this one doesn't have any exclusion. We don't have any weekends or this. It is not stated in the question that we asked to answer, right? They said expiry date. And that expiry date is given a lifespan of what? 7 years, right? And I told you two functions that can actually help with that. We have the E-date and we have the EO right? But the particular one is basically expiry date. That we're working with the end date itself. And in the e-date function, it doesn't allow years, meaning we have to convert this lifespan of 7 years into months first before e-date we allow it in. So if I'm to change 7 years into months, that means if I'm using it, that's 12 months in a year, 12 times 7, that's 84 months, right? So if I'm entering in my e-date function, I'm having my start date and my month. What's my start date? I'm still working with this other date, not today's date. This is my start date right here. Then in the month syntax, I'm going to enter in 84 months, no longer 7. I've converted the 7 years to months. I'm going to close my bracket on it, then enter. So I have what 7. Consider it added 7 years. This is 2021 to 2028, the lifespan of 7 years, right? But we have to convert it into months first before e-date we accept it. Then we now have number of days. This one basically means how many days has gone by. We know that what it is 7 years, right? We know it is 7 years, we know it is 8 months. Now, how many days has gone by between those years? I'm treated the function that tells us the number of days between two dates. That's days, right? This is that function that helps us to calculate the number of days between two dates. Now we have two dates. We have the order date right here, and we have the expiry date right here. So we want to know how many days it actually took that particular thing to expire if it was given a lifespan of 7 years. So we're going to use the days function, or we can use the minus. I told you, either we use the days or we use our normal hyphen for subtraction. So I open up the days, I have my end date and I have my start date. So what's my end date? This is this particular date right? Then my start date is the order date. Then my start date is this order date right here. I'll put my bracket on it, then enter. So between that 1st of January 2021 and 1st of January 2028, a total of 2,556 days has gone by. Because now we're using these days to get the number of days that has gone by between those two dates, or we can use the minus sign equals to, I'll pick this date, then minus, I'll pick this other dates. It's not as hard as that. Then the weeks also, right? Now we already know that we have 2,556 days in the total of 7 years. In the total of 7 years here. Now, how many weeks has gone by, right? So now the method I'm going to be using is the method of using it per week. So I'm going to be using equals to the number of days here, right? Divided by, before I won't go further, who knows what, divided by what am I going to use? Let me know if we're all following what I'm saying. Weekday. Oh, yeah, don't worry, I'll do weekday. Divided by 7. Emmanuel said divided by 7. Any other response? 7. Thank you. So to get the number of weeks that has actually gone by between those days, I'm going to be using equals to these days, this particular day, divided by 7, right? Per week. I'm just going to press enter. So we have what 365 weeks that has gone by between that date there. That one is for the weeks. And then for the month, what particular month are we going to use? How many months are we going to use? How many division are we? What month are we going to use to divide it? 12? Not 12. 365? No. No. 30, you said 30. Who else? I've gotten 12, I've gotten 365, I've gotten 30. 30, 84, 30. Okay, let's see. This is, we're using 30, right? We are using 30. I said it is per, for the weeks here, for number of weeks, we used per 1 week, right? For the number of months also, I'm going to be using per 1 month. That's 1 month is what 30 days. If I'm using 30, so I'm using 30.5. Some months used to have some months have 31, right? But we're going to be using 30 to get the number of months per 1 month. It's not per an entire year. I'm getting it per 1 month. So 1 month in a year is what 30 days. I'm going to be using the number of days here divided by 30, right? This one should be giving us 85. Yes, are you seeing it? Now, the reason why this one is giving us 85, normally when we're using the e-date function, we used 84 months. So the months here also should be giving us 84 instead of 85. But the reason here is because in this particular one, we didn't have extras of leap years, right? Some leap years, we have 365 days and we have 366 days, right? In that 7 years, we're going to have one particular year is going to be 366, right? We didn't have that when we were doing it. So now in this particular option, if we want it to be 84, right? We can either just add half with this 30 year. They're going to give us a total of that 84 months in total. So that means we're giving credit to that particular year that is what having an extra day, right? So now I'm seeing questions in chat box. Another month. I'm not sure I get a question. 366 days isn't another month. Nana, can you help us to clarify? I'm going to be using 30.5. So let's see what this one is going to give us. 84. So we have 84 months here. And then for the years now, I'm going to use an entire year. That's 365. I'm going to be picking the number of days here divided by 365. Then enter. This one should be giving me 7. Then I already have the number of days that went on between those 2 days. Between those 2 dates, I have the number of weeks that has gone by. I have the number of months that has gone by. And then I have what? The number of years. Though that one is still in the question, but we're just trying to generate it out that, okay, in the number of days here, how are we going to get how many years have actually gone by between those 2 dates? So we have number of years 7. So now for the for this particular one here, do we need correction on this part? So the best payment method, I think I treated it. The best payment method is, which column is this? Column, what? Best payment method. Okay, that's the online and cash, right? Bring it out, use count if, then press enter. You're going to get the count of the online and the cash payment method. Then we'll see the one that has the highest count. And then for the sale type also, you do the same thing. I'm going to use count if to get the number of the count of what the wholesaler, the online, and the direct sales. Since it's just that 3 sale type that we have, and then you get the best one. And then for the total quantity for each day and month, that one is now sum because in the question here it's stating that what total quantity for each day and month. Count if doesn't deal with quantities, right? We use sum if. I want to get the total quantity that was accumulated for each day and each month. And now this one can work because we already have our day name out here already, right? If I copy this and paste it out, then I'm going to be having the 7 days that I'm supposed to have, right? That's Sunday to Saturday, right? And I'm going to use equals to sum if. Then where's the quantity column? See the quantity column right here. Or do you want me to treat it again? You said 366 days in a week, yeah, but a week still has to. I'm not talking about 1 month. I'm talking about the days. I'm talking about the days extra. I'm not talking about the months. I know that one part, 365, we still have 1 month. But in that 365, the number of days that went by in that year is much more than the one that went. Now, this is it. In a year, right? How many months has 360? How many months has 31 days? How many months has 30 days? In the aspect of us treating this what are you calling it? This what was this? In the aspect of us treating this e-date here, we didn't treat what are they calling it? The ones that have God, sorry, my head is aching me. I'm having mad headache. All right, sorry about that. Okay. You guys said I should treat it. Okay. All right, let's do it. Total quantity for each day and each month. Okay. So from here, I'm going to remove the formula straight up from this column here. Because by the time I'm trying to move it, it's going to be giving me a different answer entirely. So before I move this column right here, I'm going to copy it and then I'm going to paste it as a value to remove the formula beneath it so that by the time I'm copying it and pasting it elsewhere, it's not going to be giving me a wrong answer. I'm going to copy this and paste as a value, right? Then I'm going to recopy this again, the one that I've removed the formula from. And I'm going to come out here and then paste it here normally, right? And then I'm going to go on to data tab, and I'm going to remove the duplicate. So that I want to see the number of, I want to see how many days actually is in there. I'm going to just continue with the current selection. So remove duplicates. So you should remove the duplicate for this column called day name. Then okay. Yeah. Good. So now I already have what? I have the number of days. I have the day name right here, just the ones that are originally in the data set, right? Now to get the total quantity for the day, for each of the day, right? I'm going to be using sum if right beside it. So equals to sum if. It said it has its cells specified by a given condition or criteria. I'm adding quantity column, right? And the condition I'm giving it here is what? Per each day. So I'm going to open it up. I have my range. My range is the column containing day name right here. Then what's my criteria? My criteria is this first Friday. This first Friday up here. Then my sum range is what? The quantity. Remember, I told you to what? I wanted to add up all the quantities that was sold per each day. So my quantity is my sum range. I'm going to close my bracket, then enter. So for total of all the Fridays, this one is not for one Friday, it's for all the Fridays in that data set. We sold what? 574 quantities. Then I will drop this down here. I have what? I have the quantities that was sold for each of the days. I have the Friday, I have Saturday, I have Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, right? So now this one is for each day. And then we'll get for what? For each month also. So I'm going to just copy this here and we paste it back as a value. We paste back as a value. Then I'm going to recopy this. Then I'm just going to go on to here. Coming here. Yes. Paste, and then I'm going to remove the duplicate right here. Continue with the current selection. Remove duplicate. Yes. Now I already have the 12 months, January to December. Yes. So I'm not going to do the same sum that I did right beside it, equal to sum if I want to get total quantity that was sold for each of the months. So my range now this time around is not going to be my day name, it's going to be my month name, right? Then what is my criteria? The first one up here. The first one up here. Then my sum range is what? Still quantity. So I'm going to go back here and pick the quantity column. I'll close my brackets, then enter. So I have the total quantity that was sold in the month of January. I'm going to drop this down here to get for every one of them. So you can see it. It's not as hard as it seems. So now, if you look at this properly, if you look at this now, since we have gotten the total quantity for each of the days, and we have gotten for each month also. Now, this question is not going to be, this number 5 question is not going to be any longer. When I said best selling day, that means which particular day generated the most quantity, right? Which particular day generated the most quantity. If you look through it, the one that actually has the most, you return it as what? As your best selling day. And then for the best selling month, also the one that what generated the most quantity is going to be our best selling month. And then for the average quantity, also that one is now what? Average if. We are using what? Average if in that aspect. No longer sum if again. Monday. Okay, and I'm just telling you that for after generating this sum if for each of the days, right? You should be able to get the best selling day this time around. Now going through it, you should check what the day that has the most what quantity sold. And then for the month also you get the one that has the most quantity sold. Answer true. Now, see, it's already 9 o'clock. It's already 9 o'clock. But we can always go back to check it out. We can always go back to check it out. Don't let us drag too much on this one. So I want you guys to open the slide that I gave, the slide I sent to the class. So that's what we're going to be using to treat today's class. So we're now entering the aspect of data analysis, where we have to start building our dashboards and everything like that. Now there are steps to building dashboard. We don't just come up to our data set and build the dashboard. There are steps to going through to that. So now the first thing we're going to, let me open up my slide first. Come here. Okay. All right. So we have the first, the table function. So now I told you the title of this slide that I sent, the title of the Zoom link I said tables in Excel. So I'm going to be working with how to use the table function in Excel. So the table function, they say it allows us to convert a range of data into a structured table. So let us help ourselves. My head is aching. And what if analysis and forecast sheet? I'll tell Mr. King. Or I'll tell Mr. King. If he wants to take you, take you. All right. So let us see. I think I have it here. Okay, they said, I'm sure you guys can see my word. So they said in Microsoft Excel, they said a table is a named range of data that allows us to organize, manage, and analyze our data more effectively than a regular range of cells, right? So they said it's a named range of data that allows, now with using tables in Excel, it allows us to, the organization of our data, the management, the analysis, it's more effective than just we having it in rows and in just this our normal range of cells, right? So now said tables offer what? Features like filtering, sorting, and automatic expansion with which streamline data manipulation and analysis. So basically what it means is just a shortcut, right? It makes what we are working with, it makes it very, very easy. Are you getting it? It makes our data management, our data analysis, our data manipulation, it makes it very, very easy. Just without it just being in just this normal data set that we're working with. So they said this feature allows for dynamic data management. It allows for advanced functionalities like sorting, filtering, and automatic updates to formulas. So let us see. Let's see some of the features that it actually offers. So they said dynamic ranges. So the tables automatically expand when we add data to adjacent rows and columns, right? So now, if I told you that it's that table, right? It allows our data management very, very easy. Now, we create it. Are you getting it? We create the table. We insert the table into our normal range of cells, right? So now, if we're creating that table, it's only affecting that particular data set that you're working with. Now, if you want to add data set, if you want to add more things to that particular thing, all we have to do is just give it a name. Just give the column a name. We're going to work. We're going to see how it works. But let us know that it automatically expands. That means by the time I'm adding titles to each column that I want to work with, it's going to be what? Adding to the table that I have created already, right? So then I said the second one says structured references. It said tables use column names instead of references in formulas. Meaning, if I'm trying to solve, I'm trying to make a formula, I'm trying to calculate something in a table, right? You know, when I enter in equals to, then I'm picking a cell. Now that particular in the normal range of cells, if I just pick it, it's going to just give me A2 or B15 or something like that. And then by the time I'm done, I'll now have to go back and then I'll have to drop down by myself. But in a table, we don't need to do that. Because by the time you open up by the time you open up your formula, the particular formula that you're working with, and you're doing any calculation in there, it doesn't pick it as a cell. It doesn't pick it as a cell reference. It picks the entire column. So by the time you just press enter, for that just one cell that you're working with presently, it automatically fill out for everything under it. We'll see it. Just let me explain, then we'll see how it works. So we have sorting and filtering. Tables automatically add filter drop-down menus to each column header. So our filter, the one that we have to put on, if we want to use it in our normal data set, we have to put it on ourselves. It comes with a table. We don't have to put it on ourselves, but we can put it off if we don't want it in a table. But by the time you create a table in your data set, it will give it a filter button. So it's now up to you. If you want to use it, you can put it off. And then if you still want to use it, you can leave it on. So we have table styles. So they said tables apply predefined styles for consistent formatting. We have columns. It's just help you beautify our data sets. Yeah, just beautifying your table. giving it different colors and everything like that. So we have that, there's that option also when we create a table. Then we have total rows. So this one, it adds a summary row for automatic calculations like sum, average, count, etc. Automatically beneath our data set. That means if we want to get the total profits for everybody, like something like this. If I want to get the total quantity that was sold in data set, right? If I want to use it here, I will go down to the last part and I can do auto sum, right? Or I can just do the addition equals to sum. I'll pick everything here. But in a table, we don't need to do this here. It will automatically add, it will give it a summary row. That means at the last row of our data set, it's going to give it an automatic calculation whereby is it count you want to do in that particular row, in that particular column, is it summation, is it everything? It comes with a table. But let's see. And then formulas, it says it automatically fills down formulas in a column when you enter in a table. So it works with this structured reference often, as I mentioned earlier. You don't need to solve for one cell and then going back up there and then trying to fill down. In the table, by the time you just do it in one cell, you're automatically going to solve it for everybody without you going down to fill it yourself. So now, how do we create the table, right? So they said to create a table, you select the data range you wish to convert. Now I told you that we are creating a table. So we are changing our data set, the range that we are working with presently, that this normal data set we are working with, we are converting it to a table. So how do we create it? They said to create it, we select the data range that you wish to convert. Then you go to the Insert tab and click on the table icon. And we can also use the shortcut Control T. You can see there are two ways to bring it. We can either just go to the Insert tab, or we can use what? The keyboard shortcut Control T. I'm going to work with data set I sent to the class. This is it right here. Okay. So now I'm on the other sheet, right? We're trying to convert this particular data set into a table. We're trying to convert it into a table. Now they said what was it they said? Let's see. Okay, we said we should select data range that we wish to convert. So this is the data range that I wish to convert. This data set here from column A to column J. I wish to convert it into a table. Now for easy conversion, I'm going to be inside the data set. I'm not going to be clicked outside like this. Not that you clicking outside is not going to work, right? But you have to go back and highlight it yourself. So for easy conversion, I'm just going to be inside the data set that I want to convert. Anywhere inside. I told you I want to convert from column A to column J. So it doesn't matter where I am on. I can be on this last row here. It doesn't matter. I can be on this place here. In fact, I can even be on the header. It doesn't matter. As long as I'm within that data set, right? So now said after selecting the data that I want to work with, they said we can go to the Insert tab. So we can come here to the Insert tab. That's the one beside the home. The one beside the home. And then click on the table ribbon. That should be the third one you are seeing. After pivot table, recommended pivot tables, you should see the table right beside it. So you can see even hovering on this table icon here, you can see that giving us the shortcuts beside it. They are telling us what Control T. Now instead of us coming to this insert here, we can always just use the keyboard shortcut Control T. And so that it's even giving us the definition. They said create a table to organize and analyze related data. So tables makes it easy to sort, filter, and format data within a sheet, right? So now I'm just going to be clicked inside, as I said, anywhere. So I'm not going to use this inside. I'm going to use the keyboard shortcut Control T. So now after clicking on Control T, this prompt should come out. This functionality should come out after clicking on Control T. So now you can see they said, where is the data for your table? And because I am clicked inside, it has automatically highlighted all the columns right beside it from A to J, right? So I don't need to start highlighting it myself any longer. It has seen it myself that this is where I want to convert to a table. I see it. I'm going to leave this one here. Now we now have my table as headers. Now my own is checked, but your own might not be checked, right? Now what this one means is that my headings, this other ID, customer's name that was seen here, it is seeing it already that my table has headers, right? Now, if your table doesn't have headers, you can leave it off like this, that my table doesn't have headers. Then you click on OK. If you click on OK, it's going to give it column names for you. Let's see how it works. You know, see it, I've unchecked my table as edit. I want also see how it's going to give us column names. Now I'm going to uncheck my table as edit. I'm going to click on OK. Now you can see it what column 1, column 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it has now shifted what my original headers downward. That's because I was the one that unchecked it myself, right? So I'm going to do Control Z back to take it back to how it was before, because I want it to what recognize my headers, right? Because I actually do have them inside. I'm going to just leave this inside my data set here, and I'm going to go on to press Control T back, right? Control T. Now my table, where's the data? It has automatically seen my data, right? My table has headers. I'm going to leave it checked because my table does have headers. And I'm going to click on OK. Now this is a table. It might look very simple, but this is a table. Now, how do we know it's a table? The tabs that comes with our Excel software is just this ones: file, home, insert, page layout, formulas, data review, view, automate, help. Some people might have Power Pivot in their own, but it doesn't matter. But these are the ones that will come with your Excel software, right? Now, I already converted this particular data set. Let me call it range. I converted this range of cells into a table. I already have a new tab right beside it that says what? Table design. Now, this table design is that tab that has what? That has everything that I need to work with for my table. If I click on column K now, column K is not a table. I see column K is not. If I click on it now, that table design tab is going to go off because I'm not presently clicked inside the table. That's why it's not on. But if I should click back inside, I'm going to be seeing what? A table design. I should take I'm fine, no worry. So now that's because what? I'm presently what? In a table. That is why the table design tab is out here. So now you should understand that there are some tabs that comes with when you bring in when you introduce something new to the software you're working with. Something like this now. I just changed the one that comes with this Excel is what? Range of cells, right? Now I converted this range of cells into a table. That's why I'm having a new tab called what? Table design. If I bring in something like a picture inside here, the one I'm going to be seeing here is what? Picture format. If I bring in something like graphics, all I'm going to see is what? Graphics, is it graphics design or graphics format? Graphics format. If I bring in a shape, I'm bringing in a shape. What I'm going to be seeing here now is not going to be what? Shape format. So whatever new thing you are trying to bring in into this part into your software, you're going to be seeing the tab that works with it, right? I'm going to come back to how to convert this into a table back. I'm going to do Control Z back. I see it. So now I told you to convert our table, to convert our range of cells into a table, right? We need to be clicked inside. Okay, now I was going to explain something. I'm not saying if you are clicked outside, it won't work. Now I'm not presently in a column. I'm not presently in the column that are what? That are with data set. I'm in column K. Let me click on column L. Column L, there's no data inside of it, right? And I'm trying to convert this A to J into a table. I can still do Control T inside there. I see it. But now it's not asking me that where is the data for my table. Now, L4 is not where I want to create the table, right? So I'm going to cancel this L4 that I'm seeing here. I see it. Then I'm going to come to A to J. I'm just going to highlight A to J. What I want to work with. I see it. What I want to work with. Then now, if you see it now, my table as headers has been unchecked. I'm going to check it. Then I will click on OK. So you can see that it's still the same thing that it's doing for us, right? So just for easy access, just be inside that data set that you want to work with, the one that you wish to convert, and then use your Control T, and then you go on to what? If you want to leave it as your table as headers, you check it, and if you don't want to, you uncheck it back. So now we have our data set, our range of cells into a table. And I told you, how do we recognize that it's actually in a table? If you are clicked inside, you will see your table design tab out here. You will see the tab that works with what? That works with the table itself, which is what? The table design, right? So now the first thing I'm going to be doing here is, okay, now let us see. We have hold on. Not this one. Okay. Okay, let's work with table styles. I think that one is easy. Let's work with table styles. And I told you that table style is working with what? Just designing. You're just trying to what? Change your color, the color that comes with it, because the color that will come with it, that's the original color that's going to come with it, is this color blue here, right? But you might not want to work with it. You might not want to work with it. So we can change the color, right? On the right hand side, that's the last part. You're going to be seeing table styles. You're going to be seeing it, table styles, right? On the right hand side, right here. So I'm going to, because I want to see more designs that they have, I'm going to just click on this arrow. You can see it. We have different ones that you can work with. You can pick anyone. Now, this table design, let me tell you, it doesn't have an effect on your dashboard. It doesn't have an effect on, it's just for what you're working with. I'm just trying to change the look of working with it. That's why this table style, I'm just trying to change the look of my data set. So it doesn't have an effect on what we're actually going to be building. But let's see, what color should we use? I don't know why I'm actually digging green nowadays. So I'm just going to go with color green. So you can see it. I have green. So it has changed it to what? To color green. So the table style just what? Just to change the formatting, the format of your data set. So I've changed it to color green, right? This is how it is. Now we have another one. If you are trying to convert it back into how it was originally, right? We don't just do Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. What if you have done so many data sets? What if you have done so many calculations after it, right? We don't just do what? Ctrl Z. We tell it that what? We want to convert it back to range. Are you getting it? We tell that what? We want to convert it back to range. Now, to convert it back to range, on this, I'm still clicked inside my data set, right? That is why my table design is still out here. Now, it's in this particular table design, I'm going to tell you that what? I want to convert it to what? To range. And we'll see it right under these tools here. You can see, say, convert this table into a normal range of cells. That I'm trying to change it back to something like this. I'm trying to change it back into something like this. Are you seeing it? So now this is my table here. Are you seeing it? I'm going to go on to my table design right here. Then I'm going to what? Convert. I'm going to click on what? Convert to range. This network is not allowing this thing to look at work now. I need to check. Hold on a bit. What the message is even. Oh, stop stressing my head. So convert to range. Let's see if it's going to come up here. Network. Oh, okay. So now after clicking on convert to range, this prompt should come out. That's me like what? Do you want to convert the table to a normal range? Yes. So yes. So after clicking on yes, let's see the outcome. Let's see the result. Why you okay. Hold on, no, sorry. I don't know. I don't know if this thing is lagging. Sorry. Let's not responding. What could be the issue? Sorry, hold on a bit, please. Yes, sure. I'll repeat it. Don't worry. Hmm. So let me just cancel it because I don't know anything working is. So sorry, please uh give me some minutes. Let this thing look up. Sorry. Okay. Let me back. Wait, let it log in. Still on. Still on. Okay, I think it's back. So let me share my screen back. Okay. So let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my screen. Let me know if you can see my. Started sharing it back. All right. Okay, no problem. Okay. So I'm just going to repeat this. I'm going to repeat this. Yeah, I should not fret. Just calm down. Ah. Hey, what's the issue this night? What's the issue now? Ah, what? Okay. Okay. All right. Let me take it again. Take it again. All right. So as a thing brought it in now, has cancelled the table that I actually did. So I'm going to repeat how to bring it in, how to bring in the table, how to convert our data set into a table. I want to repeat it back. So now, converting our table, our range of cells into a table, right? I told you that we have to be clicked inside for easy conversion. Just you can click anywhere inside our data set. As long as there are stuff beside it, you can click anywhere. So now we're going to use what? We are going to use the keyboard shortcut, Control T. Control T. And I told you, after clicking on Control T, this prompt will come out. My table has a diagram of my table. Those ones are already checked. I'm going to click on OK. Are you seeing it? Now, after using this, we already have this as our table, right? I told you now, to recognize this the table, I'm going to be seeing what? Your table design tab up here. If I click out of it, I'm not going to be seeing the table design. So that one helps me to what? Recognize that what this is what? A table itself. I'm going to click back inside to bring in a table design tab. I'm going to come back to the table design and then I'm going to change the color. I like blue, but I don't really like this blue that comes with it. So change, I'm going to change the color. Okay, I think this was one I used earlier. Yes, I'll try this one. Yes. No. I don't like this pen. Let's use this one. Let's use the one I've used earlier. Okay. Now this is how it is, right? I just changed the color. Don't fret. I just changed it in the table styles. So I told you that what to take it back to the way it was. That's the original data set, the original range of cells that we have. We don't just do Control Z. There's a button here that tells us to that helps us with what converting it back to the range that we were working with before. So that I can come here to that particular functionality, that particular help that is giving us, it is in the table design tab. It's not in home or insert, right? It's in the table design tab. What's it? Have you not seen my screen? I've done it. You can always watch the replay. So I told you the conversion of it back to range, right? Well, we're going to get that option in the table design tab. So now I'm going to tell you about what I want to convert to range, right? After clicking on convert to range, this prompt should come out. It's asking that what do I want to convert the table to a normal range? I'm going to click on what? On yes. Now after clicking on yes, we're still seeing color, right? But what we don't know is that the functionalities that comes with it, that's the structured reference, these features that comes with it, the table styles, the total row, the formulas, sorting and filtering, it has left this data set, right? But what we're still left with here is what is colors. But we can remove the colors from it. That's this particular one now. This what we're having here now is just fill. It's just the cell fill. We can only tell it to what remove the color from it. So how do we remove the color? Now the way we're seeing it is looking like what we have when we converted it to a table, right? But clicking on it, we're not seeing any table design tab, right? If you're in a table, if you converted it to a table and you are clicked inside, you're going to be seeing the table design tab, right? But now we have converted it back to a range. Now we don't have a table design tab, meaning all the functionality that comes with it being a table, it has what? It has been removed. Now what we have left here is just what? Is colors. Now to now bring it back to the way it is like this, we can only tell you that what? We want to remove the colors beneath it. This one is just fill. Now I'm going to do that. I'm going to highlight the entire data set. This is how to just remove. I want to remove everything at the same time. I'm going to highlight the entire data set, right? And now this one is in the what? In the home tab. This one is in the home tab. So I'm going to come here to what do you call it? Fill color. You can see it says color the background of cells. This one is just color beneath it. I'm going to just click on the fill color and then tell it to what? No fill. Underneath here, no fill. I'm going to click on what? No fill. Then I don't have colors any longer. But now I still have what? I still have lines. The lines are still different. You can see they're still green with it. These ones are just the borders, or they are the grid lines. They are more bolder with the colors. I need to what? Remove the borders also, right? So I'm going to highlight it again. I'm going to, because since I want to do everything at the same time, I'm going to what? Highlight it again. Then I'm going to go to, I'm still on the home tab. I'm going to go to the border that we have. Border, I'm going to click on it. Then I'm going to tell you that what? No border. That means every line that is there, every column that is there, what? We should leave it. I'm going to click on what? No border. Now, if I click outside now, you can see it now that I'm back to the way it was originally. Is this clear? Is this clear? Is this clear enough? No. Isa said no. Okay. I should come again. All right, no problem. I'm going to come again. All right. I'll come again. I'll come again. All right. So the person I'm going to do, I'm going to change it. I'm going to convert it to a table, right? Then I'm going to convert it back to range. That's what we're going to do. So converting it to range. Who is writing on my list now? Why are you writing? Hold on a minute, please. Let me just open it. For Isa, we're coming back for you, and for every other person that doesn't understand yet. So I said we are going to convert this data set into a table first, then we're going to convert it back to a range. Now to convert it to a table, I said we clicked inside, then Control T, right? Control T, I'm just going to click on OK because I have everything that I need here. I'm going to click on OK. Now I already have this. Now to save time, I'm not going to do table styles. I'm not going to leave it like this. Now this is a table. Right? I told you, how do we recognize the table design tab is out here, guiding us that what I am presently in a table, right? Now to take it back to how it was, that's what we had earlier. We don't do Control Z. There's a function here that tells us to what? Convert it back to what? A normal range. I'm going to click on what? Convert to range. So this here is just asking us that what? Do I want to what? Convert the table to a normal range? Then I say I'm clicking on what? On yes. I told you that what? Now you can see it now. After clicking on it, no filter button beside it again. No table design on it again. Are you getting it? So I'm not on a table again. So all these ones here are just colorings. They are fields of it, which we have to what? We can remove it. Now, how do we remove it? As I said, highlight the entire data set. You see this triangle between A and number one, between the edges of A and number one. Just click on the triangle. You are going to have what? You are going to be what? Highlighting everything. You are going to go to what? You're going to go to the home tab, and then you're going to see the fill color button. Then you tell it to what? No fill. That means you want to remove the fill of this particular thing. Now, after doing this, you're still going to be seeing the lines are still thicker, right? Look at column J and column K. The lines are still thicker. This one are just the borders, right? We can always come back here to highlight and then come here to what? The border, and then tell it to what? No border. After telling it to no border, it's going to remove what? The borders that are with it. So that's how to what convert it back to what the normal range. It's as simple as that. So we're not working with a normal range, right? We are working with table. I'm going to convert it back to a table and then continue what we're supposed to do. So Control T, convert, then okay. Now I don't like this color, so I'm changing it to green. Yeah, I think I prefer this. So now we've worked with table styles, right? We've worked with table styles. And then I told you in this particular slide here that says it says automatically fills down. Okay, no, let us use structured references. Tables use column names instead of references in formulas. So we're going to do some formulas inside here. Before that one, sorry. Look at this first one that says tables automatically expand when you add data, right? If I come here now, I told you now for this one now, right? I want to bring in the selling price and the cost price from this product sheet here. I see it. I want to bring in the selling price and the cost price into this other sheet. This other sheet is already in a table, right? But this product, this cost price and selling price, they are not in a table. But that it will not affect it. It's not affecting. I just need to what bring in the cost price and the selling price. Now, how do I name it? You know, in a normal range, let me work with this customer sheet here. If I want to work with another column, all I have to just I'll just give it, let me say, product, right? It's as simple as this. I'm just giving it product name. I already have a column, right? That's how it is also in a table. Now, because I want it to be added to this table here, I'm adding a new column to this table that I have already. I'm not going to give the headings a name. I'm going to give it a name. Now, the first column I want to bring in is the cost price. I'm just going to write cost price as my header. Cost price as my header. Then I'll click on OK. You can see that it has automatically what added it into what into the column that I'm working with. It has added it into the table that I'm working with. So if you want to add it into your data set, all you have to just give it a title, give the column a title, then you're going to add it to what to the data set that you're working with already. Now, don't let us go too far. I said we want to bring in the cost price, this cost price here. I want to bring it inside this table here. So I want to solve some revenue and expenses and all that. So I want to bring in the selling price and the cost price first. Now I'm going to be using the XLOOKUP function. I'm sure I've done it. I'm going to be using the XLOOKUP function. Nobody should ask me I'm doing it though, because I've done it. But let's see how it's going to see. Let's see how it is picking the column name. It's not picking as a cell reference any longer. It's picking as a column name. I'm going to use equals to XLOOKUP, right? Now my lookup value, I am looking up this product 8 cost price. So product 8 here is my what? Is my lookup value. Now if I click on this product 8 now, look at it in my formula bar. It is not speaking product 8 any longer. It is speaking what? Product ID. This is what it means about it is speaking, it is seeing it as what? As a column name. Once I am done with this formula now, I get me. Once I am done with this particular that I'm working with now, I don't need to drop down any longer. Because what it has seen what it has picked my lookup value as what as my entire column. Let us continue. I have picked my lookup value, then comma. Where is my lookup array? Where can I find this product? I can find it inside this product ID, product sheet. So this is my lookup array. Product 8 can be found inside this product ID column, right? Then what is my return? I wanted to return what? The selling price. If you look at it now, these ones are not returning product ID. That's because they are not in a table. Then my return array is what? This cost price here. That's what I'm just filling now. Close my bracket, then enter. So now you can see it now that it is not, I don't need to what? Drop down. It has automatically filled out what? Everybody, all the products cost price for me. Are you seeing it? Are we with me? Are you guys with me? Are you guys with me? So that I won't talk to myself. I should come again. No, I refuse because I've done lookup already. I'm going to explain with something else. Now, I'm not going to bring in selling price. Now, let me just calculate. Let me calculate expenses. Let me calculate expenses. Now, expenses is I'm going to be using cost price times quantity, right? I want to introduce a new column called expenses, right? Now, to insert a new column into this table, you all have to just give it the title called what? Expenses. Expenses. Then I'll press enter. It's going to add it to the table that I have already, right? And I told you that what I want to multiply, I want to do what? Quantity times cost price. That's what I want to use to what? Calculate my expenses. So I'm going to enter in equals to, if I pick quantity, I'm picking 23. But you can see that you can see what it is bringing out. It's bringing out what? Quantity. So it is seeing it as what? As the column name. It is picking the reference as what? As a column name, not per one reference. So I'm doing what? Quantity times, I'm going to use shift 8 as my times, and then cost price. This one also is not picking what? Number 5. It's picking what? The header, which is what? Cost price. I'll just press enter. You can see now. That's what it has automatically filled down the formulas for me without me repeating it. I see it. Now, this is one thing that what our normal range of cells doesn't have. We don't need to fill down or anything. It automatically fill it out for us. Using that's because what it is doing the formula with the headers, not just our cell reference, right? Now, this is one. Now, this one has automatic. This one has picked. So I've done expansion, right? We have done column names, Abi, and we have done automatically filling down formulas. I seen it. So column name, just what? Add the title that you want to work with. That's title, that's the column that you want to work with presently. Add the title, and then you start what? Your formula, and then you are trying. If I do your formula, it doesn't sit as what? As a cell. It doesn't sit as one cell. It is seen as what? As a column name. So now that's it for this particular aspect. Let us go to the table design and see what else we have to do. Okay, so now I've worked with table styles, right? We have worked with table styles. Now let us work with this one here. The first one here is header row. The first one here is header row. This header row is our headers, right? It says turn off the header row of the table. I need my headers. That's why it automatically checks. Because I've checked it from the beginning that what my table has headers. So my header row is checked because what I have headers. So I'm going to leave it checked. I don't need to off it. I'm going to come back to this total row. I'm going to come back to this total row. Then banded rows. This one is row by row. So it's just formatting the even numbers and the odd numbers differently. And that's what we actually have it already. If you look at it, the banded rows is checked. That's because it is already doing banded rows for us. Look at column 2. Column 2 is different. It is having a different color to what? Column 3. Row 2 is having a different color to row 3, right? That's what banded rows is doing. It's just formatting the even rows different from the what? From the odd rows. If I uncheck this banded rows, now everybody's going to be having the same row. Everybody's going to be having what? The same color. You can see it. There's no difference between the two of them. So if I check it back, I'm going to be having what? 2 different colors with it. The row 2, the even rows, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. They're having a different color to the ones of what? 3, 5, 7, 9. Right? That's what the banded rows is working with. And then we now have banded columns. It works the same thing as what? As banded rows. Now, this one is not checked. Why? Because it is not doing anything banded here in the columns. That one is also doing even columns and what? And odd columns. A is going to be having a different color to B. Let us check it to see how it works. On. So if you look at it closely, column A green is very, very thick. Right? There's no color in column B. There's coloring in column C. There's no coloring in column D. That's what it's working with. I don't need all this. I don't want this banded columns. I'm just going to leave it unchecked. You can see how it is, but I think I prefer these banded rows more. So that's for banded columns. It's just giving different formatting towards the even and the odd columns. Then we now have first column. This one is just displaying special formatting for the first column of the table. We already have it like this already. Let me check it first. Let me see if it's going to check. Why this one is not working is what this one means is that what it's going to tick in the first column. This order ID, which is our first column, is already bold already. Let me uncheck the boldness. Uncheck this. Now let us go to our table design. Let me check first column. So you can see that it is what bold is also doing. So it is just bolding the first column of the table. That's what this first column is working with. Why this last column is going to what? It's just going to bolden the last column of our table. So if I should check this last column also, you can see, look at the expenses column now. It's more thicker than the rest of them, right? But I don't really need all these ones. I'm just going to uncheck them. Uncheck. Now, if you look at it here, we now have the filter button. I told you that the filter automatically comes with recreating the table. It automatically comes with it. So, but if you want to put it off, we can either use our keyboard shortcut, Ctrl+Shift+L, right? Or we can just come here to the filter button here and put it off. You won't see it there any longer. But if you want it, or if we need it, we're going to put it on. I'm going to leave it on right here. I'm going to leave it on. So I have the filter button. Now, let us now go to this total row. Remember, in the feature that I was explaining earlier, I said in the total row number 5, it says it adds a summary row for automatic calculations like sum, average, count, etc., etc., right? Now, that is where this total row button comes in. You can see it now, it is not checked. If I check it, it's going to give me a row underneath my data set. Every column is going to have a filter button. Now, under that filter button or inside that filter button is where calculations are going to be. Calculations like sum, like count, like max, like mean, and all that. So let me check it. I'm going to check the total row. See that it has taken me to the last row that I have here. I have total, right? Let me work with this customer ID. You know, me clicking on this customer ID last row, now you can see that there's a filter button beside it. If I click on this filter button, I'm going to be seeing formulas. I seen it. I have the average, I have the count, I have the count numbers, the max, the mean, sum, standard deviation, variance, right? So it depends on what you want to work with at that particular minute. Now I explained it like that. If in that data set I was trying to, I want to get the total quantity that was sold in my entire data set, I don't need to use equals to sum and start working with it any longer, right? If I have my data set in a table already, I can just come to the last row of the quantity that I'm working with. That's the column I'm working with, which is what? The quantity. I will click on the drop down here and tell you that what I want you to help me sum up all the quantities in this data set here, which is what? 7,712. Why do I keep clicking on this thing? So this one now, it has done what? A calculation for me, which is what? The summation of what? All the quantities inside here. Are you getting me? So this total will to just what? Automatic calculations for me, or aggregate functions. Functions like our sum, like our max, our mean, our count, and all that. So now this is also a feature that comes with it, that comes with a table. Where I need to do a quick calculation. Like I want to get the maximum number. I want to get the maximum profit. I want to get the least profit that I have. You can always use the total row to get that. And before you can do it, you have to put it on in this place here. You have to put it on in table design, the total row, before it will come up here, right? That's for the total row. And then we now also have the table name. Now, from this table now is now where we can start creating we can start creating pivot tables and all that, right? Now it's not compulsory, though. It's not compulsory. But we can just give, the way for each sheet, we're having a different name. We're having a different name for all of them. And that's how this one also works, right? We can have different tables, but we need to be able to identify what table are we talking about. So we can give it a name. We can change the name of the table itself, right? Because the one now look at it. How can we get the name? On the left hand side, I'm clicked on the table design tab. On the left hand side, that's saying what? The table name. We can use it to, you can see it says edit the name of this table used to refer to it in formula. So if I'm trying to work with it in a pivot table, right? Are you getting me? And I'm having more than one table already. How do I recognize the one I'm working with? So I can give it a name that that I can actually recognize. Now, how do we change it? On this table name box here, I'm going to just click on it to highlight everything, and then I'm going to change the name. Now, one thing you should know in this changing of table name is that what? It doesn't allow space in between. If you look at the name of this data set that I sent to you, the name here is called lookup dashboard, right? In between the lookup and the dashboard, what do I have here? An underscore. Now that is something that what it will allow. Are you getting me? That is something that this table name will allow. It will not allow lookup space then dashboard. Are you getting me? It won't allow lookup space or dashboard. Now let us just give this table name. Let us what name should we give the table? I need opinion. I need our opinions. What name should I give the table? For reference, so something that we can actually write out. What name? Amani. Other table. Okay, let us give it sales table then. Let us give it sales table. Does that make sense? I'm saying we should give it sales table. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So now we're going to change the name right here. So now because we have what? Sales table. I cannot write sales and then put space and then table. Let us see the error message is going to give us. Hey, Emmanuel said we should name it Amani. Okay, let us give it Amani. Amani. So first I'm going to try it with a space so that it's going to give us the error message that we're going to be getting in case we encounter something like that again in our data set. Equals to. So you can see it says the syntax of this name isn't correct. So it says verify that the name starts with a letter or underscore. It doesn't include a space or character that isn't allowed, and it doesn't conflict with an existing name in the workbook. So let us see. That means we cannot use Amani space sales. Let us work with Amani. Let us see if slash will work. Amani slash sales. It also doesn't work. Okay. We're going to keep trying to see the one that will work. Amani. Let's use comma sales. Ha. Okay, not to stress ourselves. Let us just use the underscore that it allows. So it is Amani underscore sales. I sent. Then enter. And this one is allowed. You don't have any error. There's no error message any longer. Thank you, Emmanuel. I've changed it to Amani. Happy? So now I can see now that it doesn't allow space. And we also tried different characters. We tried the slash, we tried the comma, but it was not working. So if you want to change the name of your table, we use what? Underscore. That means if it is actually of two different characters, but if it's just one, probably only Amani. You don't need to put your underscore. You can just write Amani, which will allow it like that. Are you getting me? Do you have any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, now I've not worked with this remove duplicates. We can remove duplicates also. We know what removing duplicates means now. Returning it as a unique value. That means we don't want duplicate entries in the data set, right? And now, after the convert to range, there's the remove duplicate button also. I seen it. There's the remove duplicate button also. So now we're going to click on remove duplicates. Now it says this one we can select the one that we want to work with. Which column do we want? Sorry. Which column do we want to work with? Or which column do we want it to remove the duplicate for us to affect every other person? Now I'm going to be using the order ID. I'm going to be using the order ID to remove the duplicates. But that's the only one that is actually unique. Every other one is not unique. Because in this column, in the customer ID column, is not unique. If I use what are you calling it? Conditional formatting to check this thing now. I'm going to be having duplicates here. I have duplicates here too. I have duplicates here too. So I'm going to tell you the what. I want to remove the duplicates with the other ID. I'm going to come back to table design. And then I'm going to tell it to what, remove duplicate. Then I'm going to pick the column that I want it to remove the duplicate for. So now you can see the column that I have already. So I'm going to uncheck everything. Uncheck. Okay, yes. Unselect all instead of unchecking everything. Unselect all. I see it. Then I'm going to select only other ID. Then I'll click on OK. It says no duplicate values found. Customer ID. If we tell it to remove customer ID, now this is it. In this order sheet, you should understand something. This data set that we're seeing here, all these tables that we're seeing here, they are of different purpose, right? This customer sheet that we're seeing at the beginning here is the data set that is containing information about the customers, their customer ID, their names, their gender, their city, their country, right? This customer sheet here is the sheet that contains information about the customers. This product sheet here is the sheet that contains information about the product. I have all the product I'm selling. I have the selling price. I have the cost price, right? And in this last one here is the one that contains the information about phone numbers. Phone numbers that are also for the customers. So I can add this phone number column into the customer sheet. It's still the same thing. It's still pertaining to the customers. But in this other sheet here, it is the combination of everything, right? It is the combination of everything. Now, this one is talking about information whereby people are coming in. This one is more like the day-to-day activities of the sales, right? You came in today to buy something, I'm recording it down. You came in tomorrow to buy something, I'm recording it down. All those stuff. This is what this order sheet is containing. Are you getting it? Now, the reason why I'm not going to filter by this customer sheet is because if I should remove the duplicate in this customer sheet, I'm going to be losing data set. Why? Because, as I said earlier, this particular order sheet it's a data sheet that is pertaining to let's say the day-to-day activities or something of the sales, right? This first person that is here, this 10127, the person with the name Lindsay Fagin, this person came in to buy product 8. Are you getting me? She came in on this particular date here to buy product 8. It was recorded. Now, the fact that she came in this particular date here to buy something doesn't mean she's not going to come in another day to buy something else. She came in again. Let me go filter it out. Let us see only information about 10127. Let us see how many times she came in. Let me type this out. 10127. So unselect all, and I want to see all information about this 10127. Now, these are the number of times that she came in. You can see it now. She came in 2015. She came in 2014. She came in 2012. She came in 2010. I see, to buy stuff. And this one they're not actually the correct date, but it was used. Now, if you look at it, she have a customer ID is repeated here. I see it. If I should tell you that I want to remove duplicates, it's only going to return just one information for me and not the rest. Meaning I have lost information about this other 3, which is not supposed to be so. Are you getting me? Which is not supposed to be so. These are information about what she came in to come and buy, right? But now, why I filtered through by the other IDs, because each day that she came in, she was getting a different order ID. It's completely different. You know, when we try to when you are getting a receipt for something, are you getting me? That doesn't mean you are paying in installment or anything like that. If you pay today, right, the payment receipt I'm going to give you, that's the receipt ID they are going to be having, it's going to be different from when you're going to pay tomorrow. So now, because you came in to come and pay half payment today, are you getting me? Doesn't mean if I'm telling you that I want to remove duplicate, if I tell you to remove duplicates with that your own customer ID, it's going to remove duplicate for when you actually came in to come and pay your full money again. Are you getting me? So there are two completely different things. So if I tell you that I want to remove duplicates with the customer ID, I'm going to be losing data. That is why when you're trying to use lookup values, right? When you're using all these lookup functions that we're using, I don't know if you were given this particular data set, But we can use the other ID as a lookup value, meaning I want to look up this particular information of this particular person. This other ID 101, right? It is for this day that she came in to come and buy something. And she came in again, 2014, right? She had a different other ID entirely. But just, I don't know, I want to explain this for us to understand. But I'm sure you guys you're getting an inkling of what I'm trying to say, right? So we don't just remove duplicates just like that. Are you getting me? You look through to see what particular thing is actually important to your data set before you can what remove the duplicates. Are you getting me? But you understand better probably when you get not probably when you get to Power BI, you understand what unique and duplicate actually really, what does it actually really entail before you can remove all this particular thing. Let me continue. So now, I said earlier, I want to remove duplicate. I want to remove duplicate for other ID. That's because one person should be having just one other ID. You came in this particular day, I'm giving your ID. You came in the second day, you're having a different ID. So it should not be the same ID for 2 different days that you came in. It should be different. You came in today, you're signing in, right? You came in tomorrow, you're signing in. There are 2 different times. So now if I'm telling you that I want to remove the duplicates, I'll come here, remove duplicates, right? I'll remove duplicate, I'll tell you I want to remove by other ID. If I tell you I want to remove by gender, now I'm going to be having just male and female because those are the only 2 genders that are in there. Are you getting me? Don't let me go too far. But that's it for this part. So now I'm going to remove duplicate again. Unselect all, then I want you to remove duplicate by this cost order ID here. So okay. There are no duplicate. Now, this one is what is supposed to bring out. No duplicate value. Nobody should be having the same order ID because there are 2 different things entirely. So I have this already. Now, this last one that you're seeing up here, this one that says summarize the pivot table is now what we are going to be working with tomorrow. Where we are going to be working with what? Pivot table. And from there, we are going to be working with dashboards and shapes. So small people too, you are living Excel, you are growing big in Excel. So, but that is going to be the end of our class for tonight, right? So, based on what we did today, do we have any question? Do we have any question on today's class? So, why are we removing duplicates? To prevent double entries. To prevent double entries. How will I explain this? But okay, does anybody else have any question? Thank you. You're welcome. You are welcome. Any question on today's class? Nobody's answering. Only Nana that's thanking me for the class. And I'm thanking you too for staying to the end. I'm trying to select the cell and copy. It doesn't copy all. Which cell are you trying to copy? Why? This assignment thing, this issue. I said I was going to close the link at 7 p.m. Nigerian time. I'm telling you, I closed it after 4. I said after 4. After 12. So you guys had more time to submit it. You had more time to submit it. I said I was going to close it 7 p.m. Nigerian time, but I forgot. I closed it after 12 when I was trying to work in the middle of the night. That's when I closed it. So you guys had more time. Assignment, do you have assignments? There's not really an assignment that we can do here. But let us practice on this date, on this table that we did. So it's from tomorrow we're actually going to be working with the original thing. That's the pivot table and all. You understand? So tomorrow we're going to get an assignment. But for today, let us just practice what we did. Let us practice what we did for today. It's probably your network. I didn't close the link at 9. I closed it after 12. I remember I closed it after 12. All right. I should help you to submit the assignment. You can use Chrome. Chrome is still the best thing. I should forgive them. You can use Chrome. You can always use Chrome or Microsoft Edge. Those 2. I think they're actually fine. So, but for tomorrow, as I'm going to drop the assignment. If I drop the assignment tomorrow, I dropped the link to for the submission. Let us work and let us try to submit. I know we are all busy, but let us all try to submit. Okay, so since we don't have any question on today's class, there's no assignment for today, Rosemary. Okay, yes, okay, last week's old. Motibo, I'll reopen it so you can submit. So for today's class, let us go back home and practice what we did today. So tomorrow we're going to dive into summarizing with pivot table. Right. So let us go home. Let us practice. All right. So thank you so much for tonight. Thank you very much. So we'll see tomorrow. See tomorrow. Or any other question? All right. Good night. Good night. We are going to get the record. Tina, calm down. I already sent data sets now. I sent the link. I sent the slide. I sent the data set. So check it in the group. All right. That's it. Good night. You're welcome, Engineer Kazim.